Hi there, welcome back. Have you ever wanted your client to have a visual of how your final piece will look like? Well, to be able to do that, you use what we call a markup. So today I'm going to show you how to create a markup template. I want to say a big thank you before we move forward to all of the over 500 subscribers that I have. Because of you, I keep creating more videos. And I'm so happy you've stuck around all this while. Thank you for all your comments, your compliments, and even the suggestions. Because this tutorial is because of a suggestion I got from one of you. Yes, I read every comment that is posted, and I want to say a big thank you once again. And if you're ready, let's begin with this tutorial. It's going to be fun, so buckle up and let's go. So to demonstrate how we create a template, I quickly put together two book covers that I'm going to use in this tutorial. So here I have a book cover which I made Mamba mentality, and this is such whenever I see Kobe and Gigi, my heart really goes out to the family because of the tragic incident that happened with a few of their friends a few months back. So this is my way of honoring a great legend and her beautiful daughter, who was also aspiring to become a great basketball player. And I also have a second image just of Kobe, which also speaks of who he is. With these two images, I can't just drop this image onto this and just place it on by using the transform tool. I mean, I can do this. I can just do that. I can quickly do something like this and then fix everything around it. But it will mean that every time I do a book cover, I will have to manually do this. But to create a template makes your work easier as an artist, so that you can quickly drop in different book covers. I'm going to delete this. So if your ruler is not showing on your screen, all you need to do is to go to view, and then you will see your ruler. You check it. The other thing you want to make sure you check are your snap. So I have both checked. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to pull down my guidelines to each corner of my book, and I'm going to pull one vertical and one horizontal at each corner of the book. And I'm going to do the same thing for the other three. I'm going to pull this one for the bottom. I'm going to bring the one on top for that. And then I'm going to pull this one for this piece. And just in case you pull a guideline, but you want the horizontal instead of the vertical, all you have to do to change the direction of your guide is to press Alt. Once you press Alt, it changes the guide for you. So as you can see, you can do that, and then you can have your horizontal. So I can just pull it down just a little bit more to the right location. So now that we have our guide, what we want to do is to press your crop tool, but instead of using your crop tool, you want to use the perspective crop tool, and you want to draw a rectangle in the middle of the book. And now you want to hold each end, and then you want to move it to the edge of the book. You want to do the same thing for the two bottom ends. So now that we have our perspective crop tool, you want to go up here and hit your check. So once you hit your check, you see that a new window opens up for you. So in this new window, this now gives us the actual size of the book that we are working with. The other image was giving us a perspective view of the image. We are going to press Control A to select the surface of our book, and I'm going to press Control C to make a copy, and then I'm going to press Control Z by pressing Control Z again. Now I'm going to press Control V to paste the copy that we made. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to right click and I'm going to click on Convert to Smart Object. So now the book cover that we brought in is now a smart object. So I'm going to click on my Move tool and I'm going to go to Edit, Transform, and I'm going to press Distort. Now I'm going to zoom in and I'm going to place this back on the book cover. I'm going to move this right there. I'm going to move this right there. And as you can see, because I have my snap on, it's snapping to that corner. I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to, and I'm going to move this as well right there. We can now begin to add our image. So I'm going to double click on this. It will open a new window for me, which takes me back to where we were a few seconds ago. Now what I want to do, I want to hide my guide. So I'm going to press Control semicolon to hide my guide. If you want it back, you press Control semicolon and it comes back. But we don't need it anymore, so I'm just going to hide it. So now we're going to try to bring in an image. So I'm going to click on this image and I'm going to drag it into our template. And I'm going to set this right there. I'm going to zoom out and I'm going to scale this to fit. I'm just going to move this slightly so it fits within my book cover. I'm going to double click, zoom in so we can see. I'm going to save it. So once we save this image, it's going to be applied to our template. I'm going to show you. So you go to File, you hit Save, and once you hit Save, if you go back to the template, you see that it's showing up on your template. So I'm going to press Control semicolon to get rid of the guideline. And as you can see, this is looking really good, but we have a problem. As you can see, the fingers are behind the image, and also we had a shadow. We don't see the shadow anymore. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to click on my layer and I'm going to change the blending option, multiply. So now you can begin to see the image beneath, or the fingers beneath the book cover. So now what we want to do is to get rid or clean up this area so that it doesn't show up behind the book but actually on top, because the person is holding the book. So what we want to do, we're going to add a layer mask. I've done a couple of tutorials that I have shown how we use the layer mask, and I actually have one full tutorial on just how to use the layer mask. So you can go back to that. So I'm going to click on the layer mask and I'm going to zoom in. I'm going to double click. And with the layer mask, what you want to do, since we have our white, you want the black, and then we're going to pick up our brush tool. We want to make sure that our foreground is black, and we are going to erase this area. So to do that, we are going to decrease the brush head, and then as we paint over, you see that this reveals the finger. If you paint too much, all you need to do is inverse your foreground to white and you can paint back. so you don't lose anything. So to make it easier, what I normally do, I'm going to zoom in and I'm going to use my lasso tool, and I'm just going to eyeball and draw a line, and I'm just going to cut it. So I'm just going to use my brush, and I'm just going to, oops, I need to make sure my foreground is white, and I'm just going to erase that. So if I press Ctrl D, deselect, and I zoom out, you see that I have it clean, but I still see a few things that I need to fix. I'm going to reduce my brush head. I'm going to zoom in, and I'm just going to paint gently, and I'm going to do the same thing for this area. So to be able to see it easily, I'm going to reduce the opacity on this so I can see what I am working with. And with my foreground as black, I'm just going to paint this area to reveal this portion. I'm going to take my opacity all the way up. I'm going to zoom in, and I'm going to change my foreground to black, and I'm just gently going to paint around this area of the finger. So now when I zoom out, this looks really good. So the other thing that you want to do, if you want to increase the opacity of this, the other thing is we can zoom in and then we can look it up close. If your image is not well lined up, you can go back to your edit, transform, and then you can begin to shift it slightly to make sure that it bleeds at the top. So the next thing we want to do, if you feel the need to brighten your image, you can click on it and you can go to adjustment, brightness and contrast, and we can brighten our image. We can brighten our image like that. We can double click if we want to add more saturation. We go to image adjustments, hue and saturation, and then we can increase the saturation like that. So let's say that you have this markup and you want to replace it with another image. All you want to do, you want to click on your layer, double click on this. It will open up your template, and then you want to go to the image that you want to bring in. I'm going to drag this back into our template, and now all you need to do is set your book cover in the right place. I'm going to move this. I'm going to double click, zoom in, and I like the way it looks. I'm going to pull it down just a little. And now all you need to do is go to File, Save. And then when you go to the template, you see that it shows up on it. So as you see, this is bleeding at the end. So what I want to do, I'm going to go back to this, and I'm going to just shift this slightly. And I'm going to go back and save it, go back to my image, and as you can see, it works very well. So we can do the same thing. If you want to increase the richness of the colors, all you need to do, click on this, and then you can go to image adjustment, and you can choose color balance. You can even play with the color saturation here, or if you want, you can even go to adjustment and add hue. So there you have it. I hope you found this tutorial very helpful and easy to do. Please like, comment, subscribe. Don't forget to turn on the notification bell for all future uploads. And as always, thanks for watching. See you next time. Please be safe. And if you don't need to go out, just stay home. Okay? Bye for now.